Alright, what's up Total Wars here fans? I've got another one for you today. This one is going to be a 4v4 Siege Assault. What's different about this one is I've actually never seen this replay because I did not fight in this one. I do know who wins, but outside of that, I know nothing of what goes on here. So we got Nervi, Rome, Bactria, Egypt, and then on defending side we're going to have Kush, Swady, Dacia, and then I see Galatian units mixed in there a little bit. And this is kind of foggy. It's like a midnight battle, foggy. I'm seeing on the mini map here on the side, we do have a bunch of deployables and sharp stone beds up along the walls here. So we'll have to see how this one plays out. We'll start by reviewing the attacking side. We're going to have a fixed ballista here. Celtic Ballista for the Nervi, and then for Egypt here on the south side, we're going to have a Thurio Spear and a Gallery. For a second there, I thought that was a battering ram, but then I was like, wait, there's no gate over here. So yeah, that's a Gallery. And then we have Thorax Swords here. Looks like that's what's pushing up the siege towers, and two more Galleries, it appears. Yeah, these aren't battering rams. They look so much like battering rams. And this one here, or a few of these, have level 1 chevrons already. So those thorax in there, a few of them right there. So another one, Greek giant ballista right here is a fixed ballista, firing on that. Then in here we have Bactria. They have another fixed ballista there firing. And then it looks like they're gonna have thorax swords, level 1 chevrons here as well, moving up their siege towers. And then they have some elephants, some Indian armored elephants back here in the trees. And then Rome here, he's going to be moving his Legatus up. And that Legatus has a level 1 chevron. I don't know why. Normally you don't advance your general ahead, because if you had like archers right here on the walls, that would have been perfect. They could have just like destroyed that. But now we have Evocati Cohort. That's the common pick for Rome. Just because everybody thinks they're better than the Armored Legionnaires. They probably are for their price. I always use the Armored Legionnaires though. So then we got more Evocati Cohort. I saw Soci Extraordinari there. We got Auxiliary Syrians. I see 3 of those, and then a fixed ballista. So a lot of ballista power for the attacking team here. And then we have Levy Freeman and some fierce swords, and that's all I see of Nervi. Is there any attackers? No, there's no attackers on this side. I saw it maybe because the way Dacia was lined up there, but okay. So for the lineup here in the defending side, we might have to slow-mo this. In fact, I will. But we do have slave infantry packed really tight right there. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those there. No, 8, 9 slave infantry, and I don't think there's any even. Oh yeah. These ones are Kushite slave infantry, and then there's just slave infantry over here. So the Kushite slave infantry is a little bit better as far as like armor stats, stuff like that. So we got Club Levy here for Swady. These ones have a level 1 gold chevron, so that's a level 7 chevron there. So those guys are really experienced. We got more of those. Looks like this player here was going with the Club Levy and Sword Masters kind of setup, where it's like 50 Club Levies and then just a bunch of Sword Masters to fill out your army. So yeah, all these have that level 7 chevron, so those guys will be a huge threat there. I also see some Kushite armored Shotel warriors. Those guys are going to be really dangerous, and I see some more back here. Royal Kushite archers there, some more Kushite archers right there. You got a level 3 bronze chevron on those, and then the armored Shotel warriors there. 5 more of those, so 7, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 7 of those in total so far is what I see. We also have another slave infantry back here. No, that's a Disciples of Epitomac. Okay, so this one's the high charge. I think it's actually, it's not a scare unit. Actually, wait, is that the... Yeah, they do have a scare. Okay, so yeah, they do scare. It's kind of like a berserker unit there, so... Except I don't think they go berserk. They don't have the berserk ability, but they'll hit like tanks on the charge. They have a 60 charge bonus. Their light armor makes them a little bit of a glass cannon, but they can be really effective if used correctly. And then up here we have Galatian Legionnaires here. Excuse me. So we got a bunch of Galatian Legionnaires. That's a typical Galatian setup. And then here for archers, we got longbow hunters back here. For Swady, and then more Galatian Legionnaires, then 3 Sword Masters right here. Levy Freeman there. And here we got more Swordmasters, 5 more Swordmasters, Mercenary Axe Warriors. I got 3 of those, 4 of those. There's one back here. And these ones, I saw at least one had a chevron. That one's got a chevron. That one's got a chevron. So 2 of those have chevrons, level 1. And then the armored spears there. And then here we have a Dacian Heavy Bowman, 3 Dacian Heavy Bowmen. Make that 4 Dacian Heavy Bowmen, as well as 2 Falksmen here. I thought Falksmen were a rounded unit, not the triangular bottom. I thought they were light armored. What's their armor stat on here? 10. So I guess that's not good. That's not great at all, actually. It's really bad. But they hit hard on the charge. I think that's why people bring them, and they use them. They hit hard on the charge. They got like a 48 charge bonus. So yeah, they're like Thracian Warriors is the word, is the one I'm looking for. So yeah, they're similar to that. They have a little bit lighter armor though, so they're like a cheap Thracian Warrior. Then we got some noble swords over here. Got a noble sword general up on the hill for Galatia. We have mercenary Syrian archers and a Celtic slinger there, as well as some more Galatian legionnaires. So we'll speed this one back up because I think I've covered the entire armies for both sides. I see some Nervian units. I think these are fierce swords. Yeah. These are 2 fierce swords there coming up out of the woods. And over here as well, we got elite Persian archers, mercenary Syrian archers, Thurio spears, a pikeman unit is advancing with the front ranks. This one's in formation, so that's really susceptible to archer fire, which I guess it's not really going to receive a ton of archer fire. If you're like me on the defense, you hold your archers in the back for a really long time, and then you don't use them until the very end. So that's probably a good idea to start those out on the attack. But we got more units coming out of the wood here. Thurio spears, 2 of those have level 2 chevron. There's another pikeman unit there. And then we have Indian armored elephants. I mentioned those earlier. And then 2 more mercenary Syrian archers that I didn't mention than the elite Persian archer. And I see more units. Man, Bactria is just stacked in the woods right here. Thorax swords, level 1 chevron there. And I think I saw, here we got some Nubian bowmen for Egypt, Thurio spears there. And that's all for now that's coming out. Did we see some more Bactrian? No, that's still that giant ballista. Here we got an Oathsworn coming out of the woods. 2 Oathsworns. So, we get 2 more fierce swords came up now. So, 3 Oathsworns. They're multiplying. Okay, let's see. 3 and a general, so 4 Oathsworn there. I'm assuming since they moved their general up, that's it that they have in the woods there. So over here, the thorax swords for Egypt have started out. They've breached the barricades, and have they taken losses? This looks like they've taken 20 losses on that unit, or 19. Those club levies probably would be good to get a charge bonus. They're going to stay defensive, though, as that thorax charges in. Now, they will get the attack order. But this club levy winning against the thorax, surprisingly. Do they have, like, archer support? Because I didn't think they would win that. I guess they do have a level 7 chevron, but that's still crazy. Like, they should not win that fight. But we do have some fireballs here, as well as some stakes. So the stakes can stop cavalry charges, then they'll have that fireballs. If they move back, they can get a trap coming down in there. They can run those down. Those are pretty effective at getting high kills. And then we got more Evocati cohort. I think these 3 right here on the edge, the kind of spaced out ones here, on moving up the siege towers. I don't think I mentioned them. And then some more Evocati cohort there. I see the Syrian archers in there, and the Soshai Extraordinary. We already mentioned that. We also have that auxiliary Syrian, and then another auxiliary Syrian. That only makes 3 archers, though, for Rome. So I'm assuming there's a mercenary Balearic somewhere around here. Probably still back in the woods or something, because most of the time you bring the max 4 archers. Maybe he decided to only go with 3. But yeah, so the Celtic Ballista's got 56 kills, firing into the walls, apparently. Did it break the hole here? I wish I'd have been paying attention. Did it do that, or did the Greek Ballista do that? I'm assuming the Egyptian Ballista did that one, and then the Nervian Ballista has been firing kind of in to this area here, this corner, trying to get kills. So that one right there, that club levy got beaten back. They're going to get countercharged by another club levy, though, so that thorax sword's not doing too great there. It's racked up 55 kills, 60 men left, so it's going down pretty fast. That club levy there is losing to the thorax. They also have Thurio spears. looks like they're trying to maneuver around, and they're going to try to get behind those club levy. Was there like traps here or something? Because oh my, what happened right here? They must have been fighting. They must have had a club levy fight them right there or something. Because that's like weird. Why all of a sudden there's just a bunch of, or why these units are so depleted? Like this guy's lost like over half of his unit almost. They shouldn't lose that much that fast. Now they're trying to advance the barricades. It's not going too well, especially since that Thurios Spears hasn't been in combat. They shouldn't have lost that many. I'm backtracking a little bit here. They're trying to get behind shots, back behind those club levy. Now the thorax coming in there. But yeah, I wonder if there was like archer fire or something right there somehow, or a club levy moved up and fought on there. I don't know, but yeah, they took some losses getting the walls here. Bactria, meanwhile, broke a hole in the wall here, and it looks like we got fire pouring in to this area here, where these Galatian legionnaires and where the club levy are there. That slave infantry going to try to stop that thorax at least for a little while. Meanwhile, Bactrian main units beginning to disembark here as that thorax comes out. Rome is coming out, and Kush, the obvious person to be fighting them, always. Kush is always the opponent for Rome, the two powerhouse factions of the game, and so we got the Evocati cohort coming in here, and they are streaming in, I mean full force, but that 3 line of barricades is really allowing those Kushite slaves to get off javelin fire. And I like the setup here by Kush. Set your Kushite or your slave infantry, so your cheaper infantry there in the front. Let them take the brunt of the charge while your Kushite slaves get javelins off. But also, your slave infantry can get javelins off because they have that barricade there that gives them enough time to get at least 1 or 2 volleys off. And then you can charge in your somewhat better, not extremely good, but somewhat better units in that Kushite slave infantry. And now the Fierce Swords coming in, they popped a Frenzy. Is that... Fierce Swords have a Frenzy? Okay, I thought they were going to do Shield Wall there. I think I knew they had Frenzy, but that's like... I forgot that there for a minute. Okay, over here, the Thorax, the Galatian Legionnaires have entered the fight, and they're forcing these Thorax back. Combined with that Club Levy, they're really doing damage there. We got one right there with red morale. Just went up to yellow, though, so he should hold on. But we do have these Thurios Spears here getting routed or attacked by the Galatian Legionnaires, and we have that Club Levy moving up the side there. So let's see here. Okay, so we got another Thorax. This one has the shield wall on as it's getting attacked by mercenary axe warriors, and then some Kushite slave infantry kind of in support there. I don't think the slave infantry... yes, the slave infantry is fighting. I thought maybe it was like hanging to the back a little bit. And then we have the Galatian Legionnaires moving up there. They're getting chased by a Thorax. They probably want to turn and fight that one. Now they got sandwiched because this Thorax here, the one in the back that's about to throw his javelins, could come and flank that. But it looks like you got an Axe Warrior moving up there to try to stop that. So that Galatian Legionnaire might survive. I don't think it'll win against that Thorax with the level 1 Chevron there, just because it's a cheaper unit. I don't know. Yeah, it has a numerical disadvantage. Yeah, that Galatian Legionnaire is going to lose that fight slowly, but they'll go down not without a fight. So the Galatian Legionnaires here taking fire from the Syrian archers. The Syrian archers are firing over here. The Nubian bowmen are the ones firing over here. So the Club Levy and the Galatian Legionnaires taking some fire there. As Rome has done a really good job so far, they're really breaching that slave infantry fast, and they're not taking a ton of losses for it. This Evocati cohort's already got 80 kills. The slave infantry's 25, 15, 9, 43, 9. Yeah, what's the one back here? 8. So nothing great. But you do still have to fight 5 or 7 armored Shoto warriors and then that Disciple of Epitomac. So despite being outnumbered, those units should do good because Roman units, they're still fresh, I guess. But yeah, the slave infantry was just to do what they could to kind of slow it down. And now the real armored Shoto warriors, the real threat to the Roman Empire is going to come in, and they might, if I'm them, I kind of just draw a defensive line right here between the buildings and the rocks. The problem with that is it allows Galatia here to kind of get flanked. But then again, not really, because they do kind of have that between the gate and the building there. So you can't really get flanked there. So maybe not. Yeah, I think that's kind of what he's doing. He's doing a different version of it because he's doing it between the wall and the building instead of the wall, or the building and the rock, which is a good idea, but it still allows archers to get back in this crevice and shoot behind you. It also will allow them to move like this empty siege tower right here. They could pick it up, turn it, come up against this very back wall maybe, and come around behind him. So you'll have to watch out for that. But yeah, the Armored Chokehold Warrior already got 5 kills, only suffered 1 loss so far. So far, the defender's doing a good job holding the walls. The rest of Egypt's army has come out. Got 2 Cretan archers there. A 3rd Cretan archer there, backing up that Nubian bowman. And then we have Thurio spears, Royal Thorax. I see 4 Royal Thorax. Make that 5 Royal Thorax. Mixed in right here, as well as the giant ballista moving up there. So the pikes here guarding the archers, I like that. The pikemen are out of archer range. Also, they'd have to fire if the attack or the defenders wanted to get those. They'd have to fire over that, so the siege tower. So it wouldn't be a great spot. So those pikes are safe for now, and it's a good unit to keep guarding the archers because they're pretty good, especially since they could kind of fall back into like a square, and they also have Thurios in support. So yeah, good job there. We got some Gallic hunters that are moved up. They are firing now. They have 1 kill. And then the elite Persians as well doing the same. The Syrians have moved up as well. And here we got the auxiliary Syrians doing what I said, firing into the backs of these. Actually, they're not. Sorry, I spoke too soon. They're firing at the Kushite slaves, or possibly the Kushite royals. Probably the royals. So royals are a better target for that unit. And oh man, all 4 units just unleashed that. Oh wow. That Syrian archer just took a beating right there. Wow. All 4 of these units or 3 of these units just unleashed a full barrage on that unit and just like decimated it. Good job by Kush there to outnumber that that Syrian archer and get him out of there. Over here, we have guerrilla swords coming back. I see 3 siege towers. I didn't see those earlier that were going to attack that. They have Galatian legionnaires holding that though. So so that they're probably pulling those back to their main force. Now their main force is drawn up here. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Oathsworn right here. This is ridiculous. These guys have an extreme amount of power right here in this setup. These Oathsworn are going to be extremely dangerous late game. Of course, they probably took a debuff as far as their regular units. They have probably less numbers. They've got a Gallic Hunter moving up. So we got 2 Gallic Hunters, 4 swords, 6, that's 10, 12, and then the Gorilla. I'm assuming they have 2 more, so 12, 13, 14, 15-ish units instead of the full 20. So, but still, that Oathsworn is going to be extremely dangerous. It's kind of a similar setup that Kush took. I think Kush got the full 20, though. But they did an elite route where they had a ton of armored showtells. Meanwhile, over here, the Galatian legionnaires, coupled with those club levy, are driving back the Thurio spears and thorax swords. Now the ballista team, wow, this ballista team's going to turn the tide of the game. Those 40 men that don't even have shields and no armor. Do they even have armor? I don't think they do. Shots per ammunition, armor 10. Okay, so they have like the equivalent of the Falksmen in armor. They normally get no kills in hand-to-hand unless they're fighting like archers or something, or plebs. I mean, these guys are going to do absolutely nothing. It's kind of a unit you just kind of throw away once you get done with it. A Swordmaster moved up there, got 39 kills, but it's taking fire there from those Cretans and from the Nubians, so I didn't do too great. Probably should have been held back a little bit longer there and not thrown in just yet. It's got 41 kills. It's got red morale. But it is in shield wall, so it should hold a little while. Got a Thurio spear moving up to help finish it off. Hope that thorax finish it off. But most of the thorax for Egypt are gone. What for mid-grade infantry? Egypt has all their mid-grade infantry inside the walls right now. What they have inside the walls that's it. Like they have only their royal thorax, at least as far as I can see. They might still have some more back in these trees or something. It's unlikely, but it's possible. This ballista here got 180 kills. Really good job by that ballista. Is it still? Okay, no, it's done firing. They're done firing. They're out of ammunition, but 180 kills on that ballista. Good job by that ballista to really do some damage there. They're really gonna miss it. now that it's out of ammunition, because I'm sure it was firing like into this area here, and it was just mowing down these club levies and Galatian legionnaires that were moving up there. Meanwhile, the Cushite archers, good positioning for those archers. They're going to get a little bit blocked by the buildings, but they're firing down like onto the backs of those Romans, and those Romans are not going to like that. 23 on that unit, 8, 32, and then where did I see 50? Okay, 8 on that unit. I saw 50 somewhere. 32. Okay, maybe I didn't see 50 somewhere. Is this unit right here? No? Okay, somewhere. I saw 52 or something. Maybe I didn't. Okay, Cushite slave infantry. That Cushite slave infantry doing good, holding back the Romans. But we do have armored show tails. 130 there. They're in shield wall and winning the fight with green morale. So they'll hang on for quite a while. They've got 36 men left. Looks like they're getting encircled though by an Evocati. And they're not going to like that. Oh, nope, the Evocati's going to keep going, fight that other armored show tail, which is doing what I said earlier, and it's building the gap between the buildings and the rock. You might still be able to squeeze through right here, though. Actually, that's probably impassable. That's pretty steep. They're getting backed up by some Galatian legionnaires, and then another armored show tail warrior moving up through there to help that slave infantry hold a little bit longer. So good job by Cush so far. They did have a mishap with their general right here. It looks like he accidentally got put into melee and was taking archer fire here from the Syrians. I think they might have tried to get a shot and it had to move itself, so it probably ran into that thorax by accident, because that's definitely something you don't do on purpose. Okay, so the thorax for Egypt are gone once this unit here routes. So Egypt is pretty much out of this one. They still have their 6 elites, though. Or 5 elites and those royal thorax, and those royal thorax are not an easy target, so these guys will take a lot to get taken out of the fight. Now they're firing javelins in, and it looks like they just like mutilated that club levy. Got 8 kills on their first javelin volley. Good job, their club. Why am I in the tree? Okay, the club levy looked like they were going to charge out there, then turned around, and they're just going to sit and take that. They have retaken the arrow tower, so as long as these thorax stay here, they're going to be taking fire from that arrow tower. That's something they don't want to take. That'll mow them down pretty quickly. Not as fast as a scorpion tower, but they will it'll do okay. And getting them. Now, archer fire, look at that. That's crazy. Look at it, right into the back. So those royal thorax now taking losses from the Dacian heavy bowmen. Good job by the Dacian heavies. 116 and 93 on that unit. And they've got a pretty good angle. They're just firing right into the back of those royal thorax. Those guys have already lost about 10 men. 8 men to be exact. But wow, and it looks like they're just going to abandon this half of the city. They're going to try to help Bactria, Rome, and Nervi push into this corner, which they've pretty much secured. Like, they did a good job of securing this. They took this corner here, despite all those barricades and everything else. And they're pushing Cush back decently. I mean, Cush was holding the walls, and now they were holding the arrow tower, and now they're clear out of holding the arrow tower. They're clear back in the between the rock and the building there, like I mentioned earlier. Archer fire pouring in here. Good job by Cush getting a ton of numbers. Look at all this fire. Look at all that archer fire pouring in right there, right on top of the Roman Testudo. Maybe not your best idea. That Roman Testudo like buffs the stats of those Romans. They already get like double. I think Rome already gets double missile damage just because of Rome being Rome and their large shields, and then Testudo like doubles that, so they're almost 100% invincible. Especially from that angle, since it's coming up over the building and then down straight on top. Now engaged, they've dropped their shields, so taking fire would help now because it's coming straight from the top, and it would get them pretty quick. Rome's about out of units too. I guess they have these Evocati here. They've still got 5 Evocati and a Socii Extraordinari outside the walls, untouched. So we got the auxiliary Syrians here firing, and he must only brought 3 archers because I don't see a Balearic slinger moving up anywhere. And then we got the Legatus. Over here, we have Guerrilla Swords, 160. That's a still full unit. It's the same one that was marching around, but it looks like it might have been... it moved the towers up. Okay, that it makes sense. Okay, so there's still some men in the tower. That explains why it looked like such a small unit. There's still men in the tower, and they moved the towers up closer, but they didn't engage them on the walls. Maybe they plan to do like a sweeping move, bring their Oathsworn over once the defenders are kind of drained, land the towers, and do kind of a rear assault there. we'll have to keep an eye on that and see what they do. Here, Thorax being routed. The Galatian Legionnaires at 91. The Swordmasters in support at 13. We still have Mercenary Axe Warriors fighting this one out with the Falksmen. So the Elite Dacians are yet to engage. These guys are still fresh. Well, not fresh. They're active. He must have had them running around. A few of them are still fresh. And these are dangerous units. So a lot of these guys took the elite route, going very elite units, smaller armies, or cheaper units just to kind of fill it in. And so far, I mean, I don't know how it's playing out so far. I guess like the defenders are doing pretty good from my point of view, but the attackers still have a lot of their elites outside the wall. And just because it's all Evocati cohort and Socii Extraordinary, I almost wonder if Rome has like a Praetorian Guard or something back in these trees yet that they're not moving up. Because Evocati cohort, with these kind of funds, like when I'm seeing 6-0 when I'm seeing high funds, just filling up with Evocati cohort doesn't seem quite right. It seems like they should have another unit somewhere. So possibly they have like a Praetorian Guard or Praetorians somewhere in the woods or something that they're hiding. Meanwhile, this archer, the Cretans, 226 kills on the Cretans. They're moving up a siege tower. Now, wouldn't that be cool if they just drove it through the gap and just like started pushing their way through the city, backed by some Royal Thorax or something? But it looks like it's maybe glitched because it's just spinning. They can't get around that tree. Maybe they should just pull out an axe and chop it down so they can get through. I think it's trying. Okay, yeah. I think they plan to land it here or something. Maybe get some block from that arrow tower. But yeah, they're just spinning. And then these Nubian bowmen at 164, good job of the Nubians, they do have swords out, so they are out of ammunition, and they're in that gallery, so I don't know what the point of putting that in the gallery. I would put my Royal Thorax in the gallery so that they don't take fire from the walls or something, because like right here, these arrow towers, I guess, are neutralized, so they're not going to be firing, but anything like that could happen. So far, good job by the defenders. They've really held the walls. The only part they've lost, of course, is where Rome, the powerhouse of all factions, the greatest of all factions, has really pushed through here. But the other than that, they've held Egypt to nothing. Bactria has made very little gain. Their Thorax, I see 4 Thorax here, 5 Thorax, so not a ton left for Bactria. Meanwhile, Nervi has lost all its fierce swords. Its Oathsworn are now moving up, so it doesn't look like they're going to try to come over here and use this. They're just using this to tie down Galatian units right there, whoever's defending that, Galatia or Kush, both sides. I think Kush is just like storing his units there. Galatia's more defending that, so they just use that to tie down a few units to keep them nervous, unless that Gorilla Swords is still somewhere over here and they could come back out of the woods and do it. But the Gorilla Swords by themselves aren't going to do enough damage to take it. And then we got the Legatus there. That's maybe not a great spot for that. I mean, technically speaking, archers right here behind this Galatian Legionnaire next to this Levi Freeman could still get shots on that. So maybe that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to bait in. I saw Gallic Hunter right there just disappear into the woods. So maybe that's what they're trying to do. Try and bait archer fire, and then they can get those Gallic Hunters to get some returning fire, as well as those Syrian heavies. Could do a lot of damage there. We got a Gorilla Sword. This is the Gorilla Sword that's moving up the siege tower, so it's clearly not going to come back out over there. It's coming out. It's going to mount the towers with these Oathsworn. Yep. Oh, they're going into shield wall on the tower? Or is there somebody? No. Why are they going into shield wall? Wouldn't that, like, stop them from mounting? I guess maybe that's not the unit that's going up. I think it is, though. Maybe they plan to enter shield wall as soon as they get down. Yeah, it looks like he's like in bracing formation. Or is that just how... Yeah, that might just be how they land. I've never really took stock of that and noticed... or took time to notice that. Archer fire pouring in here from the longbows. So the longbows, a really effective use of the archers by the defenders so far. Same thing with Egypt. They've used their Cretan archers here at 133. Those Nubian bowmen at 164, and those Cretan archers here with their still glitched siege tower, 226. So far those archers have done a really good job for Egypt. All of theirs, except for one, this one here at 34, have over 100 kills. This one here still has ammunition though, so they probably haven't done a ton of firing. And then Gallic Hunters there just moved into position, it appears. They have 0 kills. We got some elite Persians using precision shot after they enter the walls. They have 44 kills, so I'm assuming they still have a lot of ammunition. We got some Syrians. Excuse me. We got some Syrians moving up here. And then Berserkers. I didn't see these earlier. These probably want to get out of here. They don't have a ton of armor. What's their... they have a 10 armor rating, so they're going to want to get out of there and not take Archer Fire. I guess they're kind of in a good spot because they're right up against that building. Archer Fire is going to be kind of hard to pour into them, but still, that's a valuable unit. You don't want to lose that, or any of those men. And another one here, this one here is at 49 kills. This one's at 0. This one's got 49 kills, about 50% losses. So I missed these when I went through. I must have just dismissed them as sword followers. Is there any more of those back here? Because those are sword followers. These are Dacians. Maybe they're in the fight. Maybe that's what these are. No, it looks like that's the only 2 that he brought. We'll have to see at the end when it shows all the armies. Here, why am I blanking on? Egypt, okay. Egypt has moved back and is, I guess they're abandoning that siege tower idea, whatever it was. They decided not to back up and try again. They just decided that little tree was too much for them. They couldn't get around that. Galatia looks like they're going to take quite a bit of archer or javelin fire here. I don't think they're going to like this. Wow. Those poor Galatian legionnaires just doing their jobs, and they're going to take a bunch of javelin fire. Maybe shield wall would help? I mean, it does have like a missile block advantage, doesn't it? Why is that? It flipped back to the Kushites. Okay. So the Royal Thorax here, I think they should be bought out of javelins because they already fired 1 volley. Do they have 4 volleys? No, the Royal Thorax should only have 2. I guess I don't know. Okay, so that Galatian Legionnaire just got routed. Now maybe do you push in, or do you try to get javelin volleys on the Galatians here as well? So they did rally there. They didn't rout. They rallied. 92 men. They're going to charge in and buffer the charge of the Royal Thorax. Good move here by Galatia. Buffer the charge and then move in the Galatian Legionnaires that are more sufficient. Actually, these guys are going to get javelin volleys off. No, we got pushed through here by Egypt. I think they ordered them through. Got a little pocket right there where the Galatians are standing. And they're like overwhelming them, and the Galatians are just standing firm. That's Galatian resolve for you. They were the greatest, or they were great warriors, I guess. Okay, so Archer Fire continuing to pour in. 122 there. 12. This one's got 74. Is those Armored Showtells 39 still holding strong. Oathsworn coming through. Evocati cohort coming through yet. So yeah, then there's still 3 of those guys in reserve. Now the Dacian elites are moving up. 5 noble swords, 4 noble swords. Is there 3 flags over? No, there's only 2. Okay, so yeah, 4 noble swords. The 5th is back here to the general. But we should have. Where did that go? No? Okay, the Royal Kushite Archers here got 77, 43. I'm trying to find that Disciple of Amphipomac. Maybe, is this it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, 172 on that Disciple. Okay, it's going to pop a Headhunt and a Frenzy. And these guys are going to be amazingly good right now. 50 kills, or 50 men left, 177. So looks like they're routing that unit there. They're also kind of doing like a scare bonus because they're getting that scare bonus because those Romans, you can see anybody like close has yellow morale. Any Romans close. Do these have discipline? Yeah, these have discipline though, so they're not easy to rout with scare units. But the Oathsworn as well, moving up. They don't have the morale disadvantage yet. I'm assuming once they start taking a few losses, they'll start feeling the scare of the Disciples. This Disciple's now at 182 for 1 loss. So they mounted like 10 kills for about 1 loss. Then those Gallic Hunters, 103. I wonder if they were out of ammunition, because Gallic Hunters should have gotten more than that, but now they're in hand-to-hand. So assuming they're out, hopefully they're out. If they marched them in when they still had ammunition, that was kind of a waste. And then the rest of the Gallic Hunters here, 1 kill on this unit, 1 on that, 0 on that. Okay, wait, 1 on both of these, I'm assuming. Because it's not, yeah, okay, so 1 on both of those. Here we got the Bactrian Royal Cavalry. This is a heavy shock cap. I'm surprised he didn't bring like a... Actually, does Bactria even have an infantry general? I don't think they do. You have to bring cavalry for a general as Bactria, don't you? But you should probably hold these guys back. Like, archer fire on the walls. Like, this area here is not secure. Archer fire right here could kill his general. Could also kill those archers. They'd probably focus down those archers, those Cretans. Because they have been a pain. Look at that, 121. I think that was the last archer there that didn't have 100 kills. Or over 100 kills. They're... yeah, that was the last archer unit for Egypt. They didn't have over 100 kills. So now all of Egyptian archers have over 100 kills. So amazing job by Egypt for good use of those archers. Meanwhile, I guess he's trying to burn the gates, maybe? Is he throwing the little baton things to try to burn the gate? Or is he just waiting for him to capture it? There's like 46 men in this unit, so... they have 140 kills. Oh, this is a thorax. I'm sorry, I thought this was a royal thorax. Somebody's throwing the batons. Okay, it's the Greek ballista. These guys are firing those. I don't think this unit is. I think this one's defending against a Sally, maybe. Because the towers are bad. I don't know why you'd want to burn that. Like, this is allied territory right here. These thorax would be... you'd just be blending A to the thorax, and... I guess you could hit these armored spears. There's kind of a gap here you might be able to get through, but those armored spears are holding that gap pretty well. Meanwhile, Galatia kind of withdrawing from this area here. I see Galatian legionnaires, 2 Galatian legionnaires there, as well as this Celtic slinger. Got good positioning here if the Egypt would try to take this area right here. This is really good positioning to fire down on that. And then we have those longbow hunters at 100 kills firing, so it's kind of a bad position maybe, because like, well, I guess if they're firing clear over here, so I guess they have time to get down. They're not, like, if they're firing into that thorax, most of that would be going into the building. That wouldn't be great. But yeah, those longbow hunters, wow, they have 150 range, 125. Okay, so that seems like a long ways to fire clear over here. But this is a good one. Look at that. This is a good spot to fire, especially. It's kind of too bad Kush didn't try to hold like all along the walls here. I guess he would have had to hold. That would have been way too hard. He did a good job falling back. But if you would have held right here somehow, you'd be firing right into the back of those Nervi. That'd be like amazing, because look how clump that is. That's just a mass of people. And archer fire could do a ton of damage right there. We got gorilla swords up front. I see 2 of those, a fierce sword, another gorilla sword, and then a fierce sword there, and then 4 oathsworn pushing through the back there. We also have a Gallic hunter there in the front, 111. Okay, and then let's see. Disciples of Epidemic there. Alright, what's up, folks? Coming back. I kind of forget where I was at. I had to take a little break here, so if you caught the glitch there, I came back to this one. But yeah, so we got, I think I was talking about that thorax there, 140, and it's already a red morale, a yellow morale. I think those disciples are somewhere near here. Yeah, right there. I think they're lending their scare ability, and that's what's making these units waver. Like these Romans, these Evocati cohort should not be, well, yeah, they should be. There's 28 men left. They should be wavering. But, like, these thorax, I guess now they're back to green morale, but they were down to red there for a second. They should not have been that low. But I think, yeah, that scare tactics just really eating them up. That's a really good spot to have that unit to help. And if they could get some berserkers in there, I wonder if they could just scare all those units into rout. That would actually be kind of neat. But I don't think the scare ability is that strong. And then back here, let's see, Galatia still holding this little window, or this little opening in the walls here, but Egypt's staying in a threatening position. Good job by Egypt, despite their low units, to stay safe inside the galleries, but also make sure the defenders keep units here, because that's like, they can't just move away. They gotta watch, because those royal thorax come through there and get behind the defenses. That would be a problem. Thankfully, Galatia is keeping an eye on that. Meanwhile, here, Nervi is still going full force. I almost wonder if he went like AI, if he quit or something, and so this was just like just the AI suicide charge. I don't know. That's what it looks like, but again, I didn't play this battle, so I don't know for sure if he quit or not. And then we got the Cretan archers here. They're firing at the Celtic slingers. So the Celtic slingers, 36 kills firing from the walls. I assume they're shooting at those ballista teams or something like that. Actually, it looks like their shots are going further, maybe into those Gallic hunters, or I see some Cretan archers dead on the ground there. So maybe it's going in somewhere there. These Cretan archers did run out of ammo at 164, though, so not a high kill count, not as high as the rest, but still pretty good, but not maybe as good as they could have been. These pikemen still waiting to get inside the walls. Maybe it would be a good idea to try to advance against Kush with those pikes. I mean, look at this carnage over here. Stacks of dead bodies. And the thorax are just like standing on top of them. Like, we don't really care. Romans are doing the same thing. I can see a lot of armored Chotel warriors mixed in there, but I see a lot of Romans for every armored Chotel warrior. I say at least 2 Romans. So the Kush making a real stubborn withdrawal out of that corner. Meanwhile, Dacia, Galicia, and Suebi getting over here against the Nervi. A few Egyptian forces bled in there. So there's a few, I think I saw some Bactrian units in there earlier, or Bactrian units at least right here in support or something. So yeah, but right now, honestly, if they could get Nervi to pull back some of this huge blob, this might be a good time to get the elephants in, because look at this blob here. If that could that'd stop the charge of the elephants. But if you pull back, charge the elephants through, I guess you got some shield wall here that would slow them down. But like Galatian units aren't in shield wall, the spears aren't in shield wall. I guess they still have a little bit of archer ammo, so you might want to wait just a little bit longer. But it'll be interesting to keep your eye, or keep our eyes on the elephants, because these can be a late game changer if they come in. And here we have a swordmaster here with berserkers, 20 men coming out. They got a headhunt and a frenzy going there. They tried to charge those Thurios and failed, got countercharged by the Royal Thorax. Maybe a bad move by Swaby there. I don't think that's exactly what they were looking for with that unit. That's a nice unit. They shouldn't have let that go. And I think only 60 kills, or 68, somewhere around there is what I saw last. Galatia now moving up as the Celtic Slingers providing a little bit of cover support as those Royal Thorax and Thurios Spears move up. Another Royal Thorax now going to try to punch that gap. Good job, because Galatia moved back, so good awareness there by Egypt to see that gap was empty and try to take it. Unfortunately, Galatia was able to get back in there, as well as now Dacia is moving back some support in those armored spearmen. The armored spearmen aren't great. They definitely won't beat the Royal Thorax. They might win out against a Thurios spear. Let me think like the stats. They got a 26 melee attack, 26 weapon damage. The Thurios have a 26. And that's because of a chevron, and then a 25 weapon damage, 20 bonus versus large, 15 bonus versus large, 26 charge bonus, 26. Yeah, so they're pretty even stats there. A little bit different, but that mostly because that Thurios spear has the not the square formation. Yeah, they have square formation in there too, don't they? So that's buffing their stats a little bit too. But they also have that level 1 chevron, which is helping them as well. Over here, I don't know why Kush doesn't move up their last 2 armored Chotels, maybe get some javelin support in there, but I guess they got enough javelin support from Galatia that they think they can beat out Rome. Like right now, these 2 armored Chotels in the back here, which I think one of them is moving up now. Yeah, one of those is moving up. So these 2 armored Chotels could probably take on the rest of the Roman army and not really take terrible losses. I mean, they wouldn't be still the powerhouse when they were done, the unit that they are when they were done, but they could really take out these guys, the rest of this army. If these archers still have ammunition, so those would be a bit of a problem. Other than that, though, they would be pretty good to take on the rest of that Roman army, and I think they could actually win if they're used correctly, along with these Disciples of Epidemic, the other 2 armored Chotel. These armored Chotels, you got to give them some credit here. They're fighting off the entire Roman army. This one's got 272 kills and climbing, 89 kills, and a level 2 chevron. This one over here is at 258. A level 2 chevron and 10 men left. They're losing slowly, but Galatia still can plug that gap while the other armored Chotels get in there. So I don't think Rome has much of a chance of a breakthrough now. I think the brain breakthrough here is going to come right here, despite the triple army here, because I don't think, let's see, we got 2 sword masters left, And then the 2 noble swords. We got that other armored shotel. We got an armored shotel moving up. A few Galatians still scattered throughout there. The longbow hunters, I think, still have ammunition. Maybe a few of these don't. One... Yeah, so at least 2 of these still have ammunition. Probably all 3. Yeah, all 3 of these have ammunition. So that's a dangerous threat here. I'm assuming Kush still has ammunition. Yeah, 71, 86, 63. And then their generals right here. He's got 91, and then they have the Dacian heavies. He's got 119, 97. They still have ammunition, so those 2 units are still a threat. Meanwhile, Galatia's main force over here is trying to stem the tide of these 2 Royal Thorax. It looks like he's going to try to wall climb back behind here and encircle them, and that's actually a really good idea. He's doing a good job of pinching them. He also gets some help from Dacia there with the noble swords. It looks like the armored spearmen were killed, or they left. I guess they could have left. I don't see them. This isn't them. This one was already here. So yeah, it looks like those armored spearmen got killed. The Thurios there, doing okay, 54 kills, 67 men left. But yeah, the Thorax, these Royal Thorax, are doing a good job. They kind of spaced out so they don't get encircled. There's one facing one way, one facing the other. However, Galatians have bled kind of into that gap right there between them and the buildings. And those buildings are just decimated. I think that's from artillery fire. Look at that, it's just a pile of rubble on the floor. And then the noble swords in there. The noble swords at 98 kills, so good job there. They have 80 men left. Over here we got the Nervaean ballista still. And of course, these guys are out of ammunition because they fired it all at the beginning, but they were really worthwhile. They got 180. I don't know why I came back over to them. They've been there the whole game. Nothing interesting happening with them lately. Nervi beginning to kind of rout. It looks like Bactria's moving up as well, at least those mercenary Syrians. And those mercenary Syrians, they're going to get a good positioning here, except that they're out of ammo. If they would have had... Oh, wait. I see a few bows and I see a few swords. So here's some bows. And then I see a few swords mixed in there. So one of them must have ammunition and the other must not. This one's at 91. This one's at 33. So I'm assuming the one with only 33. So this one... Okay, this guy's got ammunition and this guy... Okay, yeah, they both have ammunition. So those guys are a threat. Except they're taking fire. Did I see them? Yeah, they're taking fire from those Celtic slingers now. Good target for those slingers. Especially if they stop moving. And I keep thinking I see swords down in here. Like this guy in the back looks like he has a sword. Ow. Like maybe that guy with the red armbands right there. I feel like they need to stop. No, okay, he has his bow. It's just in the sheath that I'm seeing it. Okay. Okay, so then we have also those are the same Syrian archers. I'm brushing over the same Syrians. So we still have the Syrians out here though, the mercenaries for Rome, or the auxiliaries. These guys could be a threat because they only have, this one's got 0 kills and this one here's got 27. So these guys get in the fight, those Syrians can get over 200 kills if used right. And that's a game changer. Right now it's looking like it's in the favor of the defenders. But again, you won't know fully until the end. Because these games can change so suddenly, especially with the elephants. Those are not to be overlooked. Because they can come in, they can get 500-600 kills. Sometimes 700-800 kills, and that really tips the tide. I mean, that's like this whole blob right here of units for the defenders, and that would really open up because the main numbers right now for the defenders are in their archers. So, I mean, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 archer units, 8, 9, 10 archer units right here. One of which is routed right outside there, so 11 if you count the routing one, and that's a lot. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 melee units or something like that. So you got about half of your, or a third of your forces are archer units. That's not great, but still, like I said, the balance power bar is still looking in favor of these defenders. So yeah, the archers are weak, and they still have ammunition though. So, but if they would run out of ammunition, that would put these defenders in a really tight spot. Now the Syrian archers firing back. I think the Cretans, oh no, the Cushites are returning fire, but these Royal Cushite archers are scrambling out of there. They started taking fire. They took a lot of losses there. Only 54 men left after that. Now the noble swords moving up to see what they can do. I don't think they'll be able to break through the archers, but these berserkers need to get out of here. They don't like the archer fire, but they're also just adding hit points to the enemy's archer, making it so much more worthwhile because they're mixed in with those archers that are taking the direct fire. I'm surprised with the numbers that these guys have here. Like I just mentioned, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units here. Why they don't just beat out those archers? But I guess they're deciding to take the fire, use it for more important targets. But right now, these archers, these Syrians, seem like a pretty important target considering they're doing a good job of picking away at the archers, which I just mentioned are kind of the last resort for the defenders because they have to, because it's a third of their force roughly, just like a rough estimate there. Then everybody's like, yep, we know. No mathematics involved there. It was just a complete guess. 363 on this armored Shotel. I mean, these guys are doing amazing. And then 157 on this other one. It's got 58 men left. We also still have one more in the back. Yes, this one up here got moved up. So yeah, there's one more in the back. And this one could come close, especially if Nervi can make a breakthrough. This one could get really close. If they could knock out this area here, this could be a close fight. Right now, it's kind of tipping into the favor of the defenders, just from my point of view. And because it's not been a lot to review, because they've held them to the walls the entire fight, which is pretty impressive, actually. Now, these pikemen maybe could come around to try to exploit this gap, because, I mean, it's not really heavily covered. You got the Galatian noblemen there. It's not the best idea ever, because they can pull back and then just do what they did with the Royal Thorax, come from two sides. Or they can also, but if they could stop them at that choke point, those pikes could do a really good job. Also, they would get disoriented right there on the climb up the rubble. So their formation wouldn't be good when they got to the top, and those Galatian legionnaires would probably shred them. So that's probably a bad idea. It's probably a good thing Galatia didn't do that. Sometimes my ideas aren't always great ideas. Okay, so now these Syrians, I'm seeing archer fire. It looks like it's coming from right here, so I'm assuming it's these auxiliary Syrians here. Maybe it's these ones here. Yeah, maybe it is. Okay, because it's about the same flight path. But 15, they're firing into this mass of troops. These Dacians have ran out of ammunition. 149, 121 as they go into melee. You see a couple Galatians there getting routed. This could be a breakthrough for the attackers. And also they got pikes in there, which is like severe pike stack right now. I don't know if that wasn't against the rules when they started this. I mean, that's like against all rules in Rome 2 lobbies. But the pikemen are pulling out. Okay, they did the right thing. They shouldn't have put them in there in the first place. Maybe they meant to march them through or something. They got engaged. But yeah, they're pulling the pikemen out. So no severe damage done because of that. Actually, they might not. No, they're not pulling out. They're just pulling back. Okay, yeah, you don't want to fight that anymore. I think you want to fall back at that point. You don't want to fight those pikes head on, especially when they got Oathsworn and Royal Thorax mixed in with them. Over here, I don't know what this unit here is doing. It's been like all over the place. It's got 100 kills. It's kind of spaced out. It's still trying to burn these gates, which is 17%. It's gonna take them forever. I don't think they will get these gates burned by the end of the thing, by the end of this replay, because these 40 guys, or now 32, because they were taking fire from the Celtic slingers, I believe, are not gonna. I mean, they throw like one baton or flaming, whatever that is, and it didn't even do 1% of damage. These guys are taking forever. Here comes some more. Okay, they're throwing them. It still hasn't taken 1% of fire damage. Oh my goodness, it's gonna take them forever. I mean, they've been working on it like the whole replay, or the whole battle, and they still haven't gotten that done. Maybe a smart move here for the attackers would be to move these Gallic Hunters, which still have ammunition here. They're at 3 kills. And 3 kills. Over here, maybe protect them by some pikemen right where these galleries are, and then shoot into the backs of those units there. However, the elephants have come in. 181. How did I miss these guys? They came in, they're about to rout the Galatian noblemen. They had red morale there for a second. They have lost 1 elephant. Okay, it's right there. Yeah, they've lost 1 elephant. They've earned 2 chevrons. And they've got 182 kills. They are berserk, however, so they could come back and cause issues. I'm assuming these Kushite archers are what saved the day. They came in with flaming arrows or something and beat those guys off. Now these guys have rallied. They've gone unberserk or something. Is that how you say it? Unberserk. And they're taking 5 from the arrow towers. There went down another one. I'm assuming they're going to try to come back in and take out that Galatian nobleman, which is now braced for it. It's got the shield screen. Behind that, it's got a shield wall. So now coming back in here is futile because that shield wall, shield screen is a tight formation. It's not going to let the elephants through. I mean, this shield screen, they might be able to get through. It's not very organized. And yeah, they're just going to shred that. Look at that. Wow. These elephants, 187, and they've only taken 2 losses. Lost 2 elephants. I think I maybe just saw another one fall. No? Okay, wow. Yeah, these guys could have a breakthrough, though. They could come back behind these defenders and do that. And even better than what I said coming through the Nervi, if they could break through here and come around. That's a good idea by Bactria. I'm just like, they actually had a very good idea there. They're still winning, so they've got 214 now. And are they going to like try to cycle charge, maybe pull out or pull through or something? Like, they got stuck on that shield wall from Dacia, like I said they would. That shield wall is going to stop them pretty well, but they could go around. They could get into these archers. They could get into these Galatian legionnaires. However, those Galatians are coming for it, so they're going to expect it. And I think Galatia's lost his general. No. He's losing current combat. He hasn't lost his general yet, though. So 59 men left in that one. 51 kills. And did they lose another elephant? Wow, they lost a lot of their elephants. Those Dacians, and as well as those Galatians, I think, did pretty good at taking those out. So now winning that one. And the elephants, 3 elephants left now, so not doing too great here. These archers, they're going to enter hand-to-hand and just see what they can do, just kind of slow these elephants down a little bit. It's going to rack up the kill count, though, for those elephants. But they might be able to do damage. I don't think they will. I don't think they do too much damage there. That guy, oh my goodness. That guy's on fire. He's still on fire. Look at that. He's just get 3 flaming arrows sticking out of his side. Now another one. I think it's coming from that arrow tower over there. Now another one missed there. But look at this. He's got like 6 arrows. You know this guy's doing it. He's just on fire. You think they would be like screaming in pain or rolling on the floor or something? No, they're just standing there shooting arrows despite being on fire. Over here, the disciples of Amphipolis getting a rest here, while the Berserker 60 kills there, and the Galatian Legionnaires try to shut down Rome, the Evocati cohort. I think the rest of Roman units are inside here, because this Evocati cohort was the one outside. It's firing support there. The Gallic Hunters in there as well. These elite Persians did pretty good, 205, 147, I said 174. 147 on those mercenary Syrians. They earned a double chevron. The auxiliary Syrians, it's 96 and 173. So those Roman archers did really good. And I think they're still firing. They are. Both of them? No, just this front one. And then here we got some Gallic Hunters. These guys got 20 kills and they're entering hand-to-hand. You gotta be kidding me. These guys have swords drawn. They do. Okay, so these guys get only 20 kills. That's not great. I mean, that's okay. I guess maybe they were shooting at like really heavy infantry or something like that, but they were getting hit points probably, and that's what he set them to do. So Galatia did not lose his general. That held on there, but he did take a lot of losses. He's got 60 men left or 59 men left, but look at this. This defense is cracking. The sword masters here are routing 88 and 97 kills. Here we got another swordmaster, 217 on that one. And then the noble swords at 237. They've chewed through those oathsworn and then those thorax that are in there, as well as a pikeman that's still in there. So they are pike stacking, but I guess it wasn't against the rules. Thurio spears in the back there. These royal thorax at 181. Excuse me, I'm coughing a little bit today for some reason. And then Oathsworn coming back in over here. They kind of swapped out. These armored showtails going to take on that Evocati cohort. And then we got the noble sword coming in from the side. They're going to rack up their kills against the Syrians and the Gallics. And then they'll have the tough time getting through that 51 Oathsworn. They should shoot through that pretty well. But it's still not an easy target. Any Oathsworn unit, no matter how small it is always a threat. And then we got the Thorax and the Evocati right there, still in support. But this one's kind of whittling down. I think the balance power is back to even. Like this one, it came back. The defenders had it, and now it's back. Since those elephants came in, it's kind of fallen back into the power of the attackers. I mean, it's 50-50 right now. This is anybody's game. And these archers hanging to the back, they need to move up. These guys are vital. Oh wait, they're out of ammunition. No, they're not vital. No, they have no reason for being in the fight. They should just hang back. Unless they could like draw fire from these Syrians who are firing into the backs. Ooh, that's painful. Right into the backs of those Dacians. Those pikemen are losing now after getting flanked by the Dacians. I think they kind of gave ground there. That was actually a good idea. They kind of gave ground there. They pulled out or lost their sword masters. The Dacians kind of did a right angle here, cutting them off between the gate and the buildings there, kind of cutting that in a corner there and flanking them. That really debuffs the stats. I think it's 25% debuff on any stats if you're hit from the side, and then it's 50 if you get hit from the back. But yeah, that's like, wow. That's going to mutilate those Oathsworn. Even those Oathsworn are going to go down pretty fast. The Galatian Legionaries there, 77 kills. And then, what do we got over here? We got Galatian Legionnaires, the last of the Galatians coming up. Are these Syrian archers out of ammunition? Yes. Okay, these Syrian archers are out of ammunition at 115, 170, and then 190. So good job by these Syrian archers. They all got over 100 kills. Good job there. Here, this Royal Calf's not aiming yet. These Gallic Hunters with 3 kills. I think they're firing into the siege towers, which is kind of not their best idea ever, because the siege towers block friendly fire. Or do the siege towers allow friendly fire to go through? I don't think they do. No, that's only with ballistas. I think they block arrow or ammunition, so they're going to get a lot of their ammo blocked there going into those guys, and they're not going to get a ton done from that angle. And they've been firing from that angle this entire time. Possibly these Bactrian Royal Cav, though, could make a difference if they would come in. Maybe they could split these Galatians. I mean, it's a big maybe. They're a strong Cav unit, but they're not exactly great. Or against heavy infantry, no shock Cav is. Very few shock Cavs, I should say. A few are decent against heavy infantry, but they could come in here, maybe cause some damage against the armored Shotels, maybe get rid of these Galatian Legionnaires. Or, I think, is the gate finally cracked? Did the ballista team finally do it? No, they got to 21 damage. Okay, but they could come in here, maybe hit these Galatians. I mean, they could be doing a little bit of damage. Now they're going to pull out. Move the pikemen over there against those Galatian Legionnaires. These Gallic Hunters, I think, friends routing. Yeah, they're going to start suffering from army losses really quick. Do they have... no, they don't. They don't have the disciplined ability, so they will rout now that they have no... That's snipe, stalk, guerrilla, resistant to fatigue, flaming shot, quick reload. Yeah. They should rout now that their army's gone. If one of those dies, they'll both go, because army losses kicks in when there's only 1 unit left, I believe. For small armies and like 4 for large armies. I don't know what that is exactly, but yeah, they should start suffering from army losses pretty soon. Their general's dead as well. And now the Bactrian Royal Cav is doing nothing. They're just like standing there taking fire from the arrow towers. So that's not something you want to have your general doing. Has it gotten anybody yet is the question. Looks like it just... Nope, it hasn't killed anybody yet. That's heavily armored enough. They're not dying from those arrows, so that's good. At least they didn't take any losses. They did take hit point there. Here we got a Thurio spear gonna rout, and then we got archers here, and then some pikemen. I mean, this isn't looking good for the attackers now. This is majorly flipped into the hand of the defenders. I think it was that L tactic by Dacia there that really flanked the rest of Nervi and Bactrian units that flipped this one and pulled it into the hands of the defenders. I mean, they kind of lost it there. They had it, and then it went back to 50-50 once the elephants had come in, and then back now to the defenders once that Dacian attack there eliminated that bulk of units right there, and now Rome just kind of getting mopped up by Kush, who's actually almost gone. These armored Shotels here, 166. They did a good job. All of these guys did really good, but Rome is yet a threat. I mean, these Evocatis, now that the armored Shotels are gone, these Evocati could get through the Galatians. I mean, they're better. 61 to 42. 35 weapon damage to 40 weapon damage. 0 bonus versus infantry. No infantry ever has a bonus versus infantry, I don't think. But 90 armor to 75, 60, 50 health. No. Yes, 60 health to 60 health, 65 base morale. Like these guys, these Avocati could chew through the remaining ones. Those noble swords would still be a threat, but the no, those are auxiliaries. I thought those were thorax. They are thorax. Why is that? Yeah, those are thorax. Those could help get a little bit of those noble swords out of there, and then maybe the Avocati could do it, but they still have another noble sword here who's fresh, brand new actually. It would be still very hard to chew through. But again, if you could get engaged, maybe get a rear charge from the back train royals, army losses to kick in, anything like that. But yeah, this one looks like it's going to be all the defenders now. They're just kind of wrapping up. And yep, that's it. Backtrain is going to charge his general in. Or I keep thinking he's going to. Yeah, he's going to move up. So thank you to Kevin for sending this one in. If you want him to send in more replays, let him know in the comments. Let's see what you think. Let him know if you liked this one. And like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hopefully we'll see more from him in the future. Because it's more fun doing ones I haven't seen than ones I've already played. So let's see here. The Gallic Hunters there, they got 14 and 20, and they're still firing, so they could do a little bit more. I really think these guys should have been moved to the gate here where these galleries are while Egypt was still fighting. They could have really fired into the backs of these defenders and done so much more damage. I mean, 14 and 20 for those Gallic Hunters is not great. They should have been in at least 100 kills, or at least 50 kills. I mean, that's not asking too much of that unit. 50 kills, even against an Oathsworn or something like that, a heavily armored unit, is not too much to ask. Now, these pikemen, however, I kind of like these pikemen. Look at these shields, the Macedonian golden shields, and then the blue with the red outline. That's actually kind of neat. I like the crest there. These guys, this is a cool unit. I've never really taken time to look at that. But they need to come around and come behind these. But look at this carnage. Look at this. Look at this stack. You can't even see the ground right here. I mean, look. I'm going to try to... Look at this. That's not what I was looking for. Okay, right there. Look at that. That's ridiculous. You can't see the ground anywhere in this entire area. Let's zoom out a little bit. And look down again. Look at this. It's like awful. You can't see the ground clear past the gate. Over here, back over here where Egypt and Galatia were fighting. Look at this. It's ridiculous. And then back where over Rome and Kush were fighting. Look at this over here. This one is kind of scattered. He didn't fight too long for right here. But right here where his armored showtails really started putting up a fight, that's like ridiculous. This is crazy. I can't wait. Maybe these guys will clear out of here. We can see what they did right here. But this is like crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a battle with so much carnage left on the field. Like, I've had a lot where there was a ton of bodies left, but this is ridiculous. I mean, look at this. This is crazy. Clear past here, and they got all these, like, wow. This is just, and all the debris from the barricades and stuff even makes it look more. And then the fact that it's night and that it's foggy makes it even worse. Or not night, it's kind of like evening, and then the fact that it's like kind of foggy makes it even more depressing. Look at the elephants here, and then it's just like the bodies mixed in with the elephants. They fell on the sharp stones. It's just like haunting. Something you have nightmares about. And then, like, look at that crumpled buildings. I mean, the detail's not great on the crumpled buildings, but still, that's like crazy. And then Rome here now gonna get knocked out. Full push by Galatia. Look at this the whole army's just like in full chase. I had one where I lost the other day, and he was doing that to me. I had one unit left. He was going full chase after it. It was actually kind of funny. I don't think I saved the replay for that one, so we won't be seeing that one on here. But yeah, thanks for Kevin for sending this one in. And I'm really surprised. I mean, I know Romans have this amazing resilience, but still going. I mean, they should really be dying by now. Now Galatia or Getty will come in behind them there, hopefully. Why, yeah, they're doing it. They kind of had a spin right there. They turned to face the archers, and then they turned back around. But yeah, that's what they're going to do. Too bad the Galatian nobleman here wasn't a noble cavalry, because they could come up and wrap these Gallic hunters up maybe, and then come around, rear charge Rome or something. I mean, but it worked out because they were able to stop the elephants. The noble cav wouldn't have been able to do that, so it paid off. And now Rome's gonna rout any day now, any time now. The Roman general, the legatus, at 25 kills. It didn't do much. The legatus never does. That's one thing about Rome. They don't really have a hard-hitting general unless you have like the Caesar and Gaul campaign. Then you can get like the veteran legionnaires, but that's only on that DLC campaign. So if you do GC Rome, you don't have a hard-hitting general, which is kind of annoying. But I guess Rome is already enough of a powerhouse faction. If they had a general that was stronger, it's kind of like to neutralize Rome or make it less of a threat, they took away one of its units. So when you're fighting with Rome, you only fight with 19 instead of your full 20. But still, I guess the legatus can be used effectively if for a pro player, like a really, really good player. If for slight rear charges, use it with cavalry, just give you a little upper hand on those cavalry battles. But yeah, good job by the defenders to really hold the walls this entire one. They never took the walls, which was amazing. I hope these Gallic hunters just rout once the Romans are dead. They still have that ballista team out there, so maybe this guy can just quit. These guys get 84 kills. 86, and these guys got 19. That's not quite as impressive, and they still got ammo. So these guys are still firing as well. 86 kills. Now Dacia is selling against them, so they should rout soon. But wow, they went from like 30 kills to 86, like just like that, and they got a level 1 chevron there. Rome surrounded and cut off the Eagle Evocati cohort. 264. I mean, you got to give these guys credit. They lost, but they did some damage. 266, 267. These guys are not going down. That's why people bring the Evocatis over the Armored Legionnaires. The resilience and the price are so much better. Look at that. I mean, I always bring Armored Legionnaires. I'm starting to wonder why. I mean, look at this Evocati cohort. 274 wavering, 66 men left, 2 chevrons. It goes out with 275. So good job by that unit right there. And now please, Nervi, just rout. I'm running out of things to talk about. Just rout, okay? They're not going to rout. They're going to literally run around forever. And then let's just speed this up. We're not. Okay. The problem with my speed up is it gets jerky. It starts like lagging for some reason. I don't know why. I should have done this a long time ago. If I put it in 2-speed, it doesn't do that as much. The camera locks up and stuff if I do that. Okay, there we go. Finally! Okay, that was a long one, but it was a very good one. So let's take a look at the statistics here. So thanks to Hawk Kev Rock for sending this one in. He played as Galatia, but we'll start with Kush. It's Tart Aloros. 2,573 kills. He had those armored showtails, 174, 137. These guys did amazing. The best of those being 177, which is like amazing. Those archers were a little disappointing, 92, 97, but the other two over 100. It's not great. It's mediocre with those guys. But yeah, that's okay for those archers. I mean, that's decent. And then you got that Disciples of Epitomac at 280. Good job there. Some of these slave infantry, 77, 53. So good job using the slave infantry to really get a few kills. I mean, nobody expects these guys to normally get over 10 or 12 kills, at least if you're me. If I'm playing with slave infantry or cheaper units like that, I don't expect them to get too many kills. Then we have User Not Found. He has 2,496 kills. He is playing as Dacia, that General 116 there. Good job. He came in late game and helped wipe out Rome at the end there. Those Falksmen did good too, 89, 48. And then his Dacian or Noble Swords, 207, 239 being the best of those. No, 280 being the best of those. Sorry. His Noble Swords did really good, almost scoring about 200 kills. 145, the lowest of those, if you minus off his general. Then you have the Dark Inn. He's playing his Swaby. He's got 1,754 kills. He's got 217 on that Swordmaster. Good job there. Then we got 192 on that Swordmaster. So good job by those two. The other one, 49, 87, not great. But yeah, still pretty good. And then we got those longbow hunters here, 33, a little disappointing, but I don't think he re-engaged those. I think they actually might have got beat out by those Syrians late. He was one of the ones that tried to eliminate them rather than run away. And I think he paid the price for it with those archers. And then 68 on those berserkers, both of those. I mean, look at that. That doesn't happen very often. 68 on 2 units that are identical. I mean, that's perfect. And then 88, the club levies 110. Good job there. They had the 7 chevron and then 105 there, so pretty good there. Then Hawk Kev Rock, he's the one who sent it in. Thank you very much for this replay. Then we have 3,035 kills. He was the top killer of his team. 90 on his general, but remember they fought the elephants, and it's 2 kills to an elephant because it only kills the man on top. So yeah, 2 kills to an elephant. So you have to add that in there. Give him credit for that. And then 100 kills, 200 kills. Good job by the Syrian archers there. 200, 249 there. 250, 180, 179, 249, 240, 217. So good job all around by those Galatian legionnaires. I mean, he had a few duds. 54 there. 96 wasn't amazing, but compared to the rest of his units. And then 52, good job by those Levy Freeman. And then the Sub-Striker 1, he has 2,947. He was playing as Bactria. And he's got 61 on that general, 103 on his ballista, 226 on those elephants. I think those elephants could have been used a little bit better if they hadn't been thrown back in against that Galatian nobleman and then the noble sword that were guarding there. They were in shield wall and then spear wall, which really stopped those elephants up and knocked off a ton of those. So maybe could have been used a bit more effective if he wouldn't have done that. And then those archers, good job by the archers, 240 there, the worst being 110. 69 on those pikes, 262 on that pike. Good job there. Earned a level 3 chevron. Thorax swords, good all around, 212 there, 244. And then the Thurio Spears, 88.55. Good job there. Titus Polo, he's Rome. He's a top killer of his team. 3,037 kills. Just a little bit more than Kevin there. And then we have 27, 231. And then we got 196 there on that auxiliary Syrian. Good job there. And then the Evocati cohort, they did amazing. 275. I mean, being the best of that. That was the one that died last. It earned a level 2 chevron, and boy, did it earn it. These guys got 200. 231 on that one there. Why did this one earn 231 and get a level 1 chevron? This one get 200 and get a level 2 chevron. Did this one start with a chevron or something? Or maybe this one killed slave infantry and this one killed armored showdowns. And then 92 on that Soshai Extraordinary. And then Itchy, he got 2,152 kills here. He's playing as Egypt. 193 on that general. Great job by all his archers. As I mentioned, he really used those ones effectively. Did a great job there. His thorax, or his royal thorax, not amazing. None of those scoring over 100 kills other than his general. And then the thorax all around, 178, 103. Thorax, kind of a hard unit to go wrong with. They're decent all around. They're not great, but they're decent. So then those Thurio Spears, 38, 107. Yeah, they don't do great unless you really got to use those ones right. You have to use their javelins really effectively if you want to get that one right. Then 129 on that Oathsworn, 180 on that ballista. Like I said, that one was really good. He didn't blow the hole in the wall, I don't think. I think that was Egypt's ballista, and he focused mainly on killing anybody that was in the area, which is a good job. I like to do that if I have like 2 artilleries. I like to use one to blow a hole, move up my unit so I can see what's inside, and then start with a barrage before I move up. But yeah, the archers, not amazing here. 20 not being great, 54 not being great, but 115, 107 is not terrible. The fierce swords here, these ones didn't do great. I think these ones got charged into that suicide charge. I don't know. He might have done gone AI, because that charge where he got a bunched up all his units looked like it might have been. But 145 there. 35, we got 49, 79, or 76, 76, 185 being the best of his Oathsworn, so good job by Sharknado 0809, and then thanks for watching.